set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Denver Broncos. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. And
now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now a handoff working right. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hogan throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. give him 7 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Operating from the gun, Hogan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
All right, here we go.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Jackson now. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Detroit! Detroit!
On third down, it's Lindsay. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. Oh, able to avoid him. Got some real estate inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now let's go.
To throw on 2nd down. Hogan for Cortland Sutton, a special moment. Touchdown number 1 in his NFL career. And the Broncos push further out in front. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. Dances by him. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Able to fight through one tackle. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. To throw from his end zone. Hogan. Sanders has it over the middle. Emmanuel Sanders. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Hot, 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 hot. Guilt trip is here, baby. Guilt trip is here.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 23. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. Room to run past midfield. And down to the 27-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Our first update now comes from Atlanta. And it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved down to an early advantage. Throwing on first down. Hogan finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, Hogan. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we come upon, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Wiggles free. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Set, lead, and
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Second down, Collins shifts past him and able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Yeah, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Hogan now. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. And taken right on the 30. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Jackson on first down. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Za'Darius Smith leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hogan, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now here come the Ravens. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run with Collins. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. It's caught left side by John Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Hogan. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
And to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now Hogan. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Andre Holmes, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come with...
There goes Alex Collins. 20. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big run there by Collins. And even 70 yards on the pickup. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And again, it's Collins. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Flush to it. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
No, check, Patriot!
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Denver, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.